live. I just wanted to talk about the stuff that's been going around in boxing over the last week, over the past weekend. I want to say shout out to the whole entire LDBC. First off, let's get down to the business. Let's start off with the Teofimo Lopez fight against Sandor Martin. Um, I had Sandor Martin winning the fight. Um, he had that knockdown. Sandor Martin had the knockdown. I think it was like with a right hook in the second round, and he had another one that wasn't called. He had another knockdown on Tio, but it wasn't called. Um, but I just thought that Sandor Martin was outboxing Tio, and it just seemed like Tio was pressing the whole fight. He kept trying to look for a knockout punch, kept trying to look for that perfect shot, and it wasn't there for him. He keeps his hand, I think it's like his left hand, he keeps down low, and that's why he keeps always getting hit with that shot, is because he keeps his hands low and he struggles with boxers. But somehow, some way, Tio was able to get the victory. Um, at the end of the fight, after he got the victory, he was seen on the ropes talking to his dad and someone else and asking if he still got it. Does he still have it? Obviously, this is not a good look for Tio. If you have to ask if you still have it. Um, to be honest with you, I don't think he's never really had it. This is something that, he got blessed with being able to, fight Lomachenko. He had some knockouts against Richard Comey, and yeah, he fought Lomachenko and became unified champion. And then after that, he just had this huge ego to where he just thought that he was undisputed, which is a lie. He very delusional on that. Um, he didn't want to fight Devin Haney when he could have fought Devin Haney and got the WBC belt, and he refused to do that. So then he fights George Kambosos, and then he looked bad in that fight. Got dropped, and he looked bad. And from then on, to me, I feel like he's been ruined since then. Um, Obviously now he's moved up to 140, and it just ain't gonna be good for T.O., man, coming up for him, because with there's a lot of hungry fighters at 140. You got Regis, you got Gary Antoine Russell, you got Josh, dang, what's his name, Josh Taylor. So you got a lot of guys that is that's up there at 140. So it's really, really gonna be tough for T.O. you know, to even fight any of these guys that's gonna be at 140. It's gonna be tough. And even if he decides to want to move back down to 135, you got a lot of smoke down there too. You still got Devin Haney, you still got Shakur Stevenson, you still got Pitbull Cruz, you got Ryan Garcia, wherever he's going to be at, if he's at 135, 140, wherever. There's just a lot of fights in between 135 and 140. So there's just a lot of smoke, and, I don't know. I think that my thing is that they're probably going to put T.O. in a tune-up fight and, get him a soft touch to make him feel better so he can get a knockout, some sort of knockout fashion where he could feel confident again, I guess. I think that's what they're going to do, in my opinion. But he really needs to fight some guys like Regis, like Josh Taylor, Gary Antoine Russell, because he needs to, and then Devin Haney, of course, because that's where it's at. Man, that's where he's going to have to start fighting these guys now. That's what it is. But T.O. didn't look entirely too good in his fight against Sandor Martin. We'll see what he does next. But, for him to ask that if he still has it, it just is not a good look for Teofimo Lopez, a guy that's, he's been very delusional about being undisputed. Him and his father, always got something negative to say about Devin Haney, but never wants to fight Devin Haney. It's just all, he got all this stuff to say and excuses to make, but when it's time for him to step up to make the fights happen, he doesn't do it. So, and this just ain't a good look for him to have this fight with Sandor Martin. And he really lost this fight. He really should have lost this fight, but they gave it to him. But we'll see what happens next with Teofimo Lopez. But I think now he's gonna have to start fighting guys like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. You know, I know that this fight's not gonna happen, but somebody like Isaac Pitbull Cruz is another one. There's a lot of smoke down there at 135 and at 140. So we'll see what they'll do next with Tio. Um, and then we have the Terrence Bud Crawford fight that happened as well. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't watch I didn't watch it, but I seen that he had a knockout victory in the 6th round, and against David Avanesian, and that also there was some glove controversy that I'm not going to get on. I'm not going to speak on, but that's just crazy. But the thing that I was a little bit disappointed in, I did get a chance to see the his post fight, and they asked him was Errol Spence next, and he said that he was a free agent and that he was looking to put on the best fights. That didn't sound very assuring as to whether or not he was going to fight Spence or not. Obviously, Errol Spence came out with a T-shirt that had, it has a shark, and it has a phone. He's on the phone and he's calling, and you see 2 eyes that's hiding. That's hiding. I thought that was clever that Errol put that out on the same day that Terrence Crawford had his fight. So Errol obviously is still wanting this fight with Terrence Crawford. So now the question is Terrence Crawford gonna make this fight happen or not? Is this fight gonna happen next year or not? Do I believe that this fight is gonna happen next year? I really don't know anymore. I hope that it does, but it just doesn't seem like this fight is gonna happen. It just seems like there's stuff getting in the way of this fight happening, which I don't understand why. But obviously these two guys, they have the belts. Errol Spence has majority of them. He has 3, and then Terrence Crawford has the last belt, the WBO belt. So I don't understand why this fight can't be made. But it is what it is. Hopefully that fight can happen next year. I hope so. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what Terrence Crawford decides to do, and if that fight can be made or not. We're gonna see what happens, because this is a fight that, of course, everybody wants to see. But also, this was a bad look. I'm just be honest. It was a bad look for Terrence Crawford because, you fight David Avanesian, even though you said you needed a tune-up. But my thing is, why didn't you not take a tune-up fight earlier in the year, And now it just seems like you ran away from that situation to fight David Avanesian, and it just doesn't look good, It don't look good at all. So hopefully, he can right his wrongs by making this fight happen with Errol Spence next year. Because if he doesn't, or if this fight doesn't happen next year, I mean, the fight's already kind of being thrown by the wayside now, because it's just like, well, it lost a lot of steam. So, we'll have to see what happens next with that. But I'm hoping that, also while we're, I'm on this live, just hope that, that next year we get some good fights. I mean, obviously we have Jermell Charlo. He's going to be fighting Tim Tszyu, I believe, in January. And then the fight that I feel like nobody's talking about that's going to happen this Saturday, Michel Rivera versus Frank Martin. I'm very excited about this fight. This fight is at 135 pounds. These guys are both undefeated. These guys are young. These guys are talented. This fight isn't a fight that I'm very excited about. I can't wait to see this fight on Saturday night because these guys they're putting it all on the line, and shout out to both of them for getting in the ring and fighting each other right now, instead of waiting, milking it and saying, well, we'll fight, years down the road, or, we'll just wait to see if that fight will happen or not. No, these guys they're hungry. They want to fight each other now. They're willing to make the best fight happen now. So This is an exciting fight. I can't wait for this fight. If I had to pick a winner, I'm picking Frank Martin to win this fight. He's very athletic, very skilled, very quick, very fast. So I'm very excited. I'm hoping that Frank Martin comes out with the win. Um, but I'm just excited for this fight. I remember when this fight was announced, I was surprised because I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting this fight to happen. Because there was already rumors that was coming out about Frank Martin possibly fighting Chris Colbert, but I guess Chris Colbert wasn't ready to fight at that time. So for him to fight Michel Rivera, this is going to be a good fight. Michel Rivera is very, he's got jab. He's very talented as well, and he also can strike as well too. So, and he's got both hands where he can hurt you with. So it's a possibility they both can hurt each other. So it's definitely going to be a good fight. A very, very good fight, man. I'm very excited about this fight because this is something to look forward to. Guys that are willing to put it all on the line and willing to fight the best. That's what it's about. And then also, you know, uh, you got Tank coming up, fighting Hector Luis Garcia. I think that's on January 7th. And then also you got Boots fighting on that card. You got Demetrius Andrade on that card as well. So it's a stacked card, and also Rashida Ellis as well. So it's a stacked card. Um, it's very stacked. So it looks like it's going to be a good card. I'm definitely going to buy it. I definitely want to see, you know, of course, how Tank does against Hector Luis Garcia. This is the same guy, Hector Luis Garcia, that beat Chris Colbert. He's a 130-pound fighter, but now he's moving up to 135 pounds to fight Tank. Um, it's definitely going to be an interesting fight, but I mean, of course, this isn't the fight that we want. Of course, the likes of Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. But it is what it is. He's definitely going to have to. We'll see how this fight unfolds. But after that fight, if he gets past Hector Luis Garcia, then supposedly he's supposed to fight Ryan Garcia. So it'll be interesting to see if that is really what's going to happen, if he really is going to fight Ryan Garcia. Is this fight really going to happen, or is this just all just smoke, or is it just all talk, or are they just playing around, just clout chasing and just saying this, and then that's not really the case. So hopefully that, because I really want to see Tank, man, step up. It's time for him to start fighting guys that we've been asking him to fight for years now. I've definitely been wanting him to fight Devin Haney for years. I've been wanting him to fight Shakur. Um, there's too much smoke out here, man, for him to be fighting guys like this now. He's he's 28, about to be 28, about to be 29, I think. So it's like, listen, he's not getting any younger. So it's like, bro, he's got to start wanting to fight the best guys. So I hope that that's the case, and we see him going up against guys like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Um, he also revealed that he didn't have too much more time in boxing, but I hope that he fights these guys, man. I really do. I hope he does. We'll see what happens though. And then Boots is going to be fighting. It's going to be interesting to see how he looks. Of course, he's trying to do what he can to try to get a belt at 147 pounds. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in his fight, and then seeing Demetrius Andrade fight as well now on Showtime. Hopefully now he can start getting in the mix of things at 168 pounds. Andrade has been on the zone for the last, few years, 4 years, 3 or 4 years, somewhere around there. So I hope that, he starts getting in there and starts fighting guys like Caleb Plant, David Benavidez. Um, I don't know if he'll get the Canelo fight, because Canelo's already stated that, he's boring, and, he don't want to fight him. So, but hopefully he can get in the ring with the other guys that's at 168 pounds. And then, and then Jamal Charlo, hopefully he can. I don't know what Jamal Charlo's going to do. Is he going to move up to 168, or is he going to, because he had asked Bivol to fight Bivol at 168. But we'll see what Jamal Charlo wants to do. Is he gonna move up or is he gonna stay at 160? So, you know, all these things to, you know, unravel here within, hopefully next year, you know, we get more big fights, we get more exciting fights. I hope that, you know, that these guys will, you know, stop with all this, you know, the tune-up fights and stuff, and we actually get the fights that we want to see. You know, I think now is the time. You know, I think it's time to put, you know, it's time for these guys to start showing how if they really are who they say they are, it's time for them to prove it. You know, it's time for them to show that they are what they say they are. If you are great like you say you are, then it's time for you to show that you're great. You know, you can't say that you're great. You can't say that you're the best if you're not fighting the best. You know, and it's time for these guys to start proving that. You know, you can't tell me that you're the best and you just beat a guy that we all expect you to beat. It's up to you now to fight guys that we've been calling you to beat. You know, well, if you so good, fight this guy. You know, that's what it's time for in the sport of boxing. You know, it's time to get back to the fights that people want, and not just the fights that they decide they want. You know, well, this is gonna help me when we all know that you're gonna beat this guy. You know what I'm saying? You may make it seem like it was tough, but, you know, I'm not saying that guys are bums or tomato cans, because, you know, anybody that puts themselves in the ring has a chance, because, you know, anyone that gets in the ring, they're putting their life on the line. So for everybody else's entertainment. So I'm just hoping that, you know, next year we get some big fights, you know, besides the fights that we already have now, the ones that's already announced, you know. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think those are my topics that I got for today on this live. But you know, thank you. And you know, I'm gonna probably do more lives. Definitely start doing more lives here. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to the whole entire LDBC. Much love and much support to everyone. And you know, like the videos, of course. You know, share them, subscribe, and definitely just appreciate all that y'all that continue to watch the videos and continue to support and comment as well. But let me know what you guys think about these fights that's coming up, or let me know what you guys thought about the fights that happened, you know, even, you know, the past Saturday. You know, what did y'all think about the Teofimo Lopez and Sandor Martin fight, the Terrence Crawford fight? Let me know about, you know, all the future other fights. You know, what do you think is next for Terrence Crawford? What do you think he's gonna do? You know, obviously Spence has already made it clear that, look, I want Terrence Crawford. You know, I'm not leaving. I'm not doing nothing until I get Terrence Crawford. So is Terrence Crawford going, you know, take the smoke, or is he not? So I'm kind of interested to know what y'all think, you know. But yeah, like the video, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And shout out again to the whole entire LDBC. Much love, much appreciation to y'all. Thank y'all very much. Peace.